back home to America, there are Orthodox synagogues where men and women pray in separate areas, and there are Reformed or conservative synagogues where men and women pray in the same area. And that's available, I guess, in any place where there's a Jewish community in America. So on the same coin, I would ask the Reformed activists who are so overextended in pushing themselves in this situation at the Western Wall, would they do that back in New Jersey? Would they march into an Orthodox synagogue and say, we're men and women and we want to read the Torah together in your synagogue? So if they're not doing it at home,
they probably try.
I don't know. It would probably appear in the same Jewish media.
I mean, in general, the Reform Jews are generally politically left. And just from an overarching perspective, we have a huge problem in America with the political left pushing around the political right. And it used to be Orthodox Jews in America used to be also on the political left, but that's changing. And I feel like this is almost related to that or tied to that, because we're seeing a huge problem with constantly, I don't know how much they know about that in Israel, but wants to tear down our statues, and so all would be like from the political right. Me being Jewish, I'm sort of in the middle of both sides of the debate because I'm an American, but at the same time, I haven't been to Israel, but in a way, I would say that I'm on Israel's side in this debate because I feel like I read the American article first, and then I read the Israeli article. I don't know which was published first. It's been put up in my Facebook group till later, or maybe I read it, but when I read the Washington Post one that they were connected, like right after, and I was like, I think this is like the same debate that I just saw a day or two ago from that woman. There's a woman that I've been going back and forth with for, I don't know, like a month or whatever, who's a Reformed Jew, who's trying to tell me, like, oh, you guys aren't the real Jews, we're the real Jews. My rabbi says Tikkun Olam is everything. And I'm like, really? Where does it say that in the Torah?
See, part of the argument that shows up in the interview with Rabbi Moses on Arutz Sheva, Israel National News, there's a reference there to David Ben-Gurion saying the same thing to the Reform Jews in 1970, which was, if you want to influence...
they tried this before.
He said, if you want to influence Israeli internal policies, then you need to move to Israel and to be citizens here and take part in the democratic process. So it's actually surprising that Rabbi Moses was so inviting to the Reform Jews to just say, oh, come here, we want you in Israel, and be part of the process. But he's actually echoing the same ideas that Ben-Gurion said many years ago. And it's also interesting if you bring this into the left and right politics arena, as you mentioned, that the same Reform Jews who lean very strongly to the left, I don't really remember them making the same demands of Israel's government when Israel's government was in the left. When Shimon Peres was the prime minister and Yitzhak Rabin was the prime minister, and even when David Ben-Gurion was the prime minister, I don't remember them demanding the space to pray in the same area with the Orthodox Jews at the Kotel. So maybe they are using this agenda as an excuse to knock the right-wing Netanyahu government.
Netanyahu is considered, these are things, I know I like Netanyahu, but I didn't know that he was considered, right-wing or whatever.
Oh,
I know more
yes.
about American politics than I do about Israeli politics.
Netanyahu is considered a right-wing prime minister, and there are different social movements that seem to gain more traction or get more excited about social issues when there's a right-wing prime minister, and they don't really, their voice is not really heard when the left controls Israel's politics.
I mean, we had the same thing here in America. There like a lot of stuff that was going on for years, and some of the people on the right are saying, like, wait a minute, how come they didn't bring this up when Obama was president? How is this Trump's fault? Because this was going on when Obama was president. And Obama is, like, very, very, very far left. I don't know if you know that.
So that brings up the question of the integrity of these activists or rabbis or people who have a social agenda. Why are they making these demands so loudly now? And where was their voice in the past?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's also so that they can somehow, maybe they're hoping to bring Trump into it and blame him too.
Another interesting thing on this whole matter of the Western Wall is that many of these same Reform Jews who are liberals or leftists and support the two-state solution, giving over the areas that were captured by the IDF in 1967, according to that idea, the Western Wall isn't really a part of Israel's sovereign jurisdiction. So they kind of contradict themselves. On the one hand, they say you need to give over the West Bank to the Palestinians, and the Palestinians should be in control. And on the other hand, they come with demands regarding the Western Wall, which is part of the same area, and demand that Netanyahu give them privileges there.
Yup. I can see that. We have one of the reasons why so many American Jews who are not Judaism is kind of in the middle, which that's not to be confused with conservative politics, which means right-wing politics, but who are unaffiliated and Jews right politically. Way more Jews voted for Trump, especially in Orthodox communities. A lot of people that voted for Obama are telling me, Obama ruined it for us, we're done with the left.
Great, I'm glad that you chose to collab with me. So I want to thank you for inviting me onto your YouTube channel. And if your subscribers would be interested, my name is David Haivri. I have a YouTube channel. I don't YouTube that often, but I have a weekly podcast on Israel News Talk Radio.
I'll link those in the description to this video when I put up my version of it.
Great, thank you for that. Listen, let's do this again sometime soon.
Yeah, that sounds great. So.
Okay. So, thank you.
So that was my chat with David Haivri, the Israeli YouTuber. Learn a little bit more about politics, and I guess it's related to religion, but it's sort of a political thing going on in Israel with American Reform Jews who are generally leftists politically, and also just to give my viewers a little, I think a lot of people in America who are not Jewish have there's so many intricacies to the Jewish people. There's so many different groups and different parts and pieces to it. So you can see how the Jews, so to speak, are definitely not a monolithic group from this particular chat, as you see that Reform Jews in America are not agreeing with Jews in Israel, mostly, basically Orthodox. So thanks for stopping by my channel. I will see you next time.